Hello everyone, welcome back to my ALS journey. So I discussed last video my feelings on being diagnosed with ALS and pretty much how I was diagnosed with ALS at that time. Today's video, I'm just going to talk about my condition, how it has progressed so far, and some of the things that I take to help with symptoms and just my overall spiritual health. So starting out, I'll go back and kind of discuss from April until now how I have progressed. So I stopped working in April, about the second week of April this year, due to it being just too difficult for me to walk around the clinic, and so I decided to stop working and to kind of focus on trying to do strengthening exercises and to just help my overall body as far as to go with strengthening it. So that was in April, and in April I could still, like I said, walk unassisted, and I still had a little bit of strength in my right leg, was still able to drive, and so still able to walk up and down my stairs. So still had some strength, but like I said, just finding it more difficult to walk. So from that time frame until now, a lot has happened as far as to go with my progression. So in June, the first major thing that happened was the right leg continued to weaken, and to the point where I was no longer able to drive. So I am no longer able to drive because the right leg is just too weak to be able to safely drive. And now I would say my left leg has also developed weakness to the point where it's difficult for me to walk up and down the stairs. And the right leg is weaker also, so when I had to go up the stairs, I would pretty much have to walk up with putting the right leg up first on the step, which was the stronger leg, to get the strength to pull myself up, using my arms to pull myself up the stairs. So because that is just too difficult of a process to do any longer, I have made the decision to move downstairs, so that it's an easier transition for me to have my room downstairs, and I don't have to worry about making that journey up the stairs, because that pretty much was a difficult process to get up the stairs each night. So my left leg has weakened significantly also. I have experienced weakness also in my arms. They have less strength than they had before, so it's something that I could pick up and have no problem picking up a while ago. Now I struggle to pick those same items up. I still have the use of my hands and arms as far as it go with they're not cramped up, and I can still button my clothes and do things that such as that require fine motor skills, but they are weaker, and they do have experienced a lot of twitching in my biceps, in my shoulders, and so that is concerning to me, because I thought, okay, well, my legs are affected, and I didn't think, that my arms would be affected as soon. But I can, like I said, still use them, but they are weakening more so. I do have tremors now in my hands that I didn't have before, or I would say wasn't as noticeable before. I would sometimes notice like a little slight tremor in my left thumb, but now both hands, I do see a tremor in them, and it's more pronounced than it was before. So that is something else that's happening. some mornings when I wake up, I just feel like tremors. It's hard to describe, but I feel jittery, like a jittery feeling. So that's something that's new that's occurring now recently. As far as it go with being able to move around, I do use a walker now around the house because it's just too difficult to stand for long periods of time, and it's too difficult to walk without some form of assistance. So I use the walker around the house to get from room to room. And when I do have to go out for any appointments, or if I just want to go out and look around in like the stores or anything, we have a small transport wheelchair now for me because, like I said, it's too difficult for me to be able to walk with the walker for a long distance. So I use that mainly just from transitioning from room to room in the house. But for long distances, I do need a wheelchair now. So pretty much that is where I am now. And honestly, I didn't think that it would progress this rapidly, because in April, when I put things in perspective, I was still able to walk around and, like I said, be independent and drive. Still having strength in my right leg, and now it's October, and the strength in my right leg is pretty much non-existent, and the left leg is very weak. So, and I didn't expect the things to start manifesting in my arms as far as it go with the weakness there. And it's been, I would say, difficult process, mentally processing it from the standpoint of being independent and now needing assistance with a lot of things. That's kind of hard, but I'm still very thankful to the Lord for Him giving me the strength still to be able to do things, and for me still to be able to just trust in Him and believe in Him, that even though there is a decline, that don't lose hope and faith in His ability to heal. So with that being said, I'll kind of discuss some of the diet changes I made and some of the supplements that I use to try to help with the symptoms that I have, like I said, with the tremors and just with my overall health in general. So I am completely, I would say, plant-based diet now. I do not consume any meats at all. Pretty much nothing processed. And the reason I stopped doing the processed foods was because of the MSG that's in a lot of the processed foods. And I noticed that whenever I would eat something that had like the MSG, or something that, and there's a lot of things out there with hidden names for MSG. And so it seems as though it would make my the tremors worse, especially in my jaws and in my lips. And so as I stopped consuming those, the tremors have improved there. But like I said, the tremors in my hands have gotten worse. So I stay away from any processed foods. I don't consume any breads any longer either, so I don't eat any thing that contains gluten in it or anything like that. So overall, my gut feels better, because I would feel like slight fasciculations in the gut. And now that I can stop, with those things, eating like breads and and just consuming like a lot of processed foods or whatever, I noticed that I don't have those problems any longer. So I think that worked, you know. As far as to go with supplements, I do use the Deanna's protocol, and that is something that was formulated for people with ALS, and I'll put the description or a link there for anyone who want to check out that product. But that I take in the morning, I take it in the afternoon, take it in the evening. They have an AM and a PM blend that I take, which is a lot of vitamins. And I also take vitamin C, zinc, selenium, L-serine, and vitamin E. I use like these capsules that have turmeric and black pepper. So I use those. However, I did see something on TV about, or an article I read about someone getting liver damage. So I may have to research that a little bit more and just start using the spice on my food instead of doing the capsules. So I'll have to look into that a little further, but I use that also. And, you know, just try to get more sleep, which is hard, but because with this condition, even though I get a full night of rest, I'm just constantly feeling fatigued. So just try to take naps throughout the day, try to, you know, so that I don't feel so tired. Other than that, those are the things that I use. I can't say right now that any one thing is helping more than another, but I will say that I believe that they are generally helping my overall being, so that my body don't have as many bad, I would say, oxidizing things inside of me because of the antioxidants. So hopefully it's taking it out and, you know, doing its purpose. But I will keep you updated as far as it go. I've been on these items for about 4 months, a little bit more, maybe 6 months since I stopped working. So we'll see, you know, how it works out. But the diet, I do feel, is helping me. The only downside about the diet is that with me not consuming a lot of breads, I have lost a lot of weight, so it's hard to maintain my weight. I have to try to eat more frequently throughout the day, but it's hard for me to maintain my weight because I'm not, you know, loading up on a lot of carbs or anything like that. But that's pretty much what I do as far as it go. I decided not to take the medication that they offered because it didn't have good results as far as it go with the Riluzole. And the IV medication that's out, the new one, Radicava, I just feel that there's not enough information on that one out there, you know, evidence to show that it's effective for me to take it and use it. So I am not going to do that at this time, and I'm just going to continue what I'm doing and see how it works out. I also just continue to be in prayer and asking the Lord, you know, to heal me. I believe that He can, and if it is His will, He will. And, you know, because as the scripture says, you know, that Jesus Christ, He is the same yesterday and today and forever, which is Hebrew 13:8. And, you know, He was healing. God has been healing throughout the Old Testament and the New Testament. And I feel that, you know, His word is true. And so if He did it then, He can do it now. And I'm just looking to be His modern day miracle. You know, it is disheartening that sometimes when I do notice things are getting worse. but I just continue to trust and have faith in Him, knowing that He is going to, see me through this whole process. And I just read this Bible and read the scriptures and trust in His scriptures, because, I find encouragement in it, because it is difficult to go from, walking, jumping, doing whatever you need to, not having fatigue all the time, to just, it's tiring just to get out the bed and just to shower. It's tiring to just stand for 5 minutes, and to feel your muscles quivering as you're trying to push up, from a seating position. It's difficult. It's a difficult journey, but He's here with me during this process, and He reminds me of that all the time. And it says in Romans 8:18, "For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us." And so I just, think on that verse and think about, even though this suffering is right now, God has something better, waiting for us. And 2 Corinthians also says, 4:17, "For our light affliction, which is but for a moment, worketh for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory." So that gives me encouragement and hope, just to know that this affliction is just but for a moment. And, in God's eyes, it's not going to last forever. And I have something to look forward to, in knowing that eternity and what He has prepared for me is greater than what I'm going through right now. So I just keep that hope in Him, and knowing that, He knows what's best, and He's working it all out. So I hope that you will join me for the next update on my condition, and thank you for watching, and we will get back with you later.